I'm so glad you spent money for that bit.
It was definitely mediocre. I can't believe I spent that much money on this fucking thing just to do one bit.
Yeah, send it back.
I can't imagine. I can't believe I spent Patreon money on that. But
I fucking hope you didn't.
No, I didn't.
I would say send it back now that we're done with the bit. You obviously don't need it anymore.
No, definitely not.
And it's obviously shite.
Definitely.
just based on what we learned from that segment. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Chain Rant Podcast. My name is Josh. With me again is my bearded co-host, Mr. Andy Fooko.
I'm back.
And if you didn't know, I'm here to let you know this is an explicit show, so I'm going to give you 5 seconds to go listen to anything other than the first episode of Up to the Line podcast. That's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, Fosco. Oh, Fosco. It's been 3 years since we fucking recorded. Should we say folk? Oh, we should.
Oh, we shouldn't swear in this podcast.
3, 2, 1. Folk.
Fook.
Just kidding. I love you guys. I listened to it today. We'll talk about it later on the show, though.
I did. I powered through it.
Listeners can review the show on iTunes, etc. You can send in emails and voicemails to be played on air. Like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. If you're Australian, Snapchat. Check out the Chain Rant store at chainrant.com. And this episode is brought to you by our patrons. Those lovely people who've decided that they like our dick jokes enough to pay $5 a month to hear them. Or $1 a week.
Or when they get sick of it, they cancel, and that's cool. That's cool too.
Yeah, that's cool too. I mean, hard times. I understand. Yeah, but thank you to our patrons, and if you are interested in becoming a patron, you can do so at patreon.com/chainerant. It's a good time, and you occasionally get discounts on merch, I suppose, which is also good.
Do you?
Yeah, we don't.
No,
but they do.
Oh, right. Yeah, we have to pay full price.
We have to pay full price because we're not patrons of our own show.
Correct.
That would just be masturbation.
Well, I mean, we do listen to it on a regular basis. I listen to it in the shower while I'm jerking off.
Just because you like to hear your own voice, or because you like to hear my voice?
Both. I mean, your voice is like the left hand. You're like the stranger.
I'm the stranger danger. And yours is that comforting voice that's not making any good jokes. I get that. Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, exactly. That beautiful bass voice that really tickles the old
not quite like the angel voice, but
No.
Yeah.
I'll work on that angel voice.
The bassiest
bass voice.
Yeah.
Look at
last but not least, please invite and share with your friends. Mr. Andy Fooko, you know what really fucking freezes my chestnuts?
What's that, Josh?
Going to Winter Storm. That's why I didn't this year.
It literally freezes your nuts.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree with this statement.
I'm assuming that you can sympathize, having just gotten back from the sprawling urban metropolis that is Kansas City.
It is a metropolis. It's about as much as I can say about that. It's got a river that's frozen and women that are
frozen?
Very well covered. Yeah, very well covered. So you have no idea what the quality is out there.
You don't know what's in that box until you unwrap it.
Definitely not. Let me tell you. Once you, from personal experience, you don't want to know.
And they got to be losing their fucking minds because the
just kidding to all those whores,
Chiefs are in the Super Bowl.
Oh, I'm sure they're very excited. How do you know that?
Because I know things, Fusco.
You don't know things. Come on.
This is what I do, Fusco. I drink and I know things.
Okay, fair enough. Oh, yeah. So are we going to talk about that at some point?
The Super Bowl?
Oh, God, no. The Winter Storm.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I figure we can kind of... I would love to hear about Andy's excellent adventure later on in the show.
I know it's not exactly topical anymore. It was a whole 2 weeks ago, but...
Yeah, but nobody listens to our show went, and the people that did go are still waiting to find out if they got herpes. So I figure...
spoiler alert.
We can...
Yes.
We can save them. We can save them a trip to the free clinic.
Don't worry about it. It's the good kind. The kind that doesn't really show up maybe once a year.
It's what we call the Fusco strain.
It's like, it's the French strain. It's the one that hides a lot.
So we just dropped the episode of Fireman Bill and Big Leg because you were out of town. That got rave reviews.
Did it?
Yeah, I think so. I think people like
so
that.
So far, positive reviews for Big Leg. I don't know who this guy is.
Fireman Bill found the best way to get rave reviews on the podcast is to bring someone else.
Somebody that's interesting. Fair enough.
As much. Oh God, and it's hard because I'm trying to get all my jokes in now against Fireman Bill, because God forbid I actually succeed in my current course of action. That guy's gonna fucking destroy me. So the hazing is gonna be relentless.
Assuming he's in charge of you, but
fucking everybody's gonna be in charge of my ass. Are you kidding me?
True, but you don't run into everybody all the time. Joe Brady actually contacted me recently. He's like, "Is Josh serious? Is he really going to do that?"
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, he's really.
Oh yeah, 100%.
He's taking the courses,
going for broke.
He's doing the courses and all that nonsense. He's like, I don't know if that's such a good idea. All the shit he talked about firemen.
But here's the thing. I'll talk shit and I'll stand by my things I said. I'll take my lumps.
Sorry, you're gonna have to. Oof.
Was that your Modelo that caused that reaction?
No, I just did.
You didn't do it early, you son of a bitch.
No, I did it. That's another one.
Oh, you poured no. Oh, fuck me.
Come on, keep up, brother. I'm celebrating. I haven't drank in like 5 days.
Is that because you were working?
I've been working so hard this week, dude. I want to kill myself.
All right, so let's get through some of the incidentals so we can get into the meat and potatoes of this episode, which is Fusco's Winter Storm Adventure. So we got an email, and I'm stoked on this. I actually really like this email on so many levels.
Mostly because it makes us look like heroes.
And it's not even that, man, but it touches on all the aspects of what we intend for this show.
What's also interesting is because when you hear the email, you know the audience will know why I say this, but because this guy's going through episodes, he's so far behind, he doesn't hear what we end up saying about the person he's talking about later. When he wrote this, he doesn't know that yet, which is interesting.
He'll hear it afterwards.
Correct.
But I like this because this email for me encompasses like
why we do this.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I've been, don't get me wrong, I like getting on the radio making dick jokes as much as anybody.
Yes, definitely.
But it's shit like this that gives you a little extra, coal in the fire.
Absolutely. Every once in a while, when we get down, well, I don't know if you ever do, but I get like, this is so much
trust
work
me,
and I fucking hate.
Trust me, I get there more
really,
often than you think.
Do I really want to do this anymore? All that, and then you get something like this, like fuck. All right, people do.
Yeah,
like this
people. Yeah, it's good. So I'm gonna start, and I might have you take over at some point. We'll see. So this says, "Hey dudes, I'm one of your many secret Mormon closet listeners over in Utah. I've been catching up on the podcast. I just hit episode 38, and it's been 14 days since I listened to episode 1.
That's crazy.
That's an average of 2.714 episodes per day. I know this isn't healthy, but I don't care. It's true. It's not healthy. I usually listen at 1.5 times speed, sometimes even 2 times. And let me say, that'll come up later in today's episode. And let me just say, even at 2 times, Honey Bourbon sounds like he's been eating too much eucalyptics. Hashtag koala joke.
What?
Eucalyptus.
Okay.
This podcast has been immensely useful to me. Aside from being hilarious entertainment and much needed catharsis for anyone in and especially helping to run a pipe band, it also inspired me genuinely to do a lot of good things. Thanks to your podcast, for example, I realized that a lot of our grade 5 pipers are, air quotes, practicing a lot, but they've never been taught how to practice, how to memorize tunes, what to listen for, how to correct it, etc. This has changed and improved our rehearsals and personal practice in just the week since we started focusing on it. I also had canceled our band's annual St. Patrick's Day concert, but then listening to you guys and F.U. Joe Brady talk about concerts, I was like, Jiminy Christmas, we can still do this, and the concert is back on.
Nice.
Might as well go for it. I don't want to end up writing you a novel, but today I hit episode 38 while I was working. I measured buildings and stuff for work. I was walking around working while you two were reading Fleshlight ads in my ear with Eric. With Eric Evanhouse. I had to come to my truck to cry laugh for a while and then get this email sent to you. At the opening of this episode, I recognized Where's the Butter? A kid I grew up next to, CJ, wrote that tune, and I was like, no way. You said the title. It said it had been emailed to you by a listener. I was like, that must have been Zach. Then you guys read the email he'd sent you. Shit, friends. And I'm going to call you in for the hard part.
Okay. Hold on. Sorry. So, Zach died a year ago yesterday, and we're all naturally missing him a lot. I started listening to the podcast because he always recommended it. I worked from home for a lot of years in my Mormon household with all plentiful young loin product about can't.
Is that what we're calling kids now? We're calling them loin product?
Loin product about can't to tolerate your shenanigans, but now I'm driving a lot for work, hence the sudden storm of listening. I won't bore you with the many tales I could tell of Zach's bagpipe-related insanity. We have played pipes together since we were 14, and we did a lot of ridiculous stuff, and he left a long list of ridiculous stuff yet to be attempted. I can tell you that everything Eric said is true, not only about soaking marinating, but about Zach and Garden Valley Pipe Band as well. We did try to get the rights to the Bob Ross Memorial Pipe Band, but couldn't pull it off. Though we will sneak Bob Ross's face into our sheet music regularly, replacing a quarter note here or there. And our band's tagline is Crayon Sona, according to Google's Translate. That's Irish for happy trees. That's a great idea. You two are on the same wavelength as Zach always has been. We played together in high school band when we were kids. He was always raising his middle finger to tradition. Well, as I say, I could write you a novel, and in some ways I would like to. It just feels good to unload a bit. Your brash disregard for tradition and the bagpipe-related friendship to something I really, really appreciate getting a glimpse of, especially while missing my own disrespectful bagpipe buddy. Josh, you can say God ain't real all you want, but heavens to Betsy, if the fact that I landed on episode 38 precisely today, this was a couple days ago, the day when I needed it most, isn't proof of a higher power, T-Rex or otherwise, I don't know what is. Thanks again for doing the podcast, guys. Next time we come to Vegas, I'll see if I can't find you to shake your hand.
I'd skip to the hashtags.
Okay. I was like, wait, this looks like we shouldn't say this part. Hashtag one of the sacred six. Hashtag fudge you, Joe Brady. Hashtag drink, mother flippers. Well, okay, now I gotta pour a goddamn drink. Hold on. So again, somehow this nonsense of a show inspired this guy to not only put his concert back on, but to change the way he practiced and educated his people.
Well, and
we're heroes.
Good shout out to Zach, man.
Zach too, yeah, he was a good dude.
Piping Jim, to you, to Zach, and to
us.
Fuck you, establishment. Suck our crooked cocks. Woo! It'll make your bones good. Oh. All right. Speaking of listening to things at 1.5
that'll
times
clear
speed,
the old wind sock.
Speaking of listening to things at 1.5 to 2 times speed.
Oh, we're going to talk about that?
If you didn't know, I'm here to let you know that there is a recent podcast released by the 2 of the 3 Grace Note Vortex boys.
No, all 3 of them were on it. Just not live in the studio.
The Up to the Line Pipe Band Podcast.
Yeah.
An educational podcast determined to get everyone up to the line. Now, here's the thing. These boys know that they put a huge target on their back because, 1, I love them, and 2, I want to shit on them because I love them. That's just the way that's the way my love works.
I warned them today we were going to review their show.
Like the way my love works is, I like you when I make fun of you.
Rab doesn't get that, but that's okay.
If I don't make fun of you, it means I don't like you.
I wonder if they got any emails from Rab about because they picked on him about lists and shit. And did he write them a hurt email about guys, why are you picking on me about my lists or whatever?
So I only got halfway through. Did you get all the way through?
I got all the way through it. Yeah.
So why don't you start?
I got thoughts. Yeah. So
this is going to be a podcast review of a podcast. I'm glad you all signed up for this.
I can't believe you guys paid $5 for this.
We're not going to give it more than 5 minutes because it
doesn't work.
It won't take that long.
But okay, so a couple thoughts. It was Steven and Stuart, and
I love those boys.
I'm right on board with Stuart. I think he's kind of him and I are on the same page here. Every time I've ever talked to those guys, we're hammered out of our minds, so I don't remember anything. This is the first time I ever remember I know Stuart. Okay, Stuart. Yeah. Okay, I got this guy. I get what he's putting down, right? I was right on board with this guy. Steven, of course, is kind of leading the charge, if you will. He's kind of playing your role as to the sort of the main voice driving it, and then Stuart jumps in. And I thought it was a little slow going at first.
That's
but it
very
was
kind of you to say that I'm a driving force. I appreciate that.
Well, you sort of take that let's move this thing through, and I'm sort of color commentary kind of thing.
Well, it's improv 101.
Yeah. So anyway, but Steven did well. I mean, he was a little uncomfortable, you could tell, and then Stuart I thought was great. I find these guys their banter is good, perfect. like they're not boring, and they're trying to keep it clean, but you can tell they're like right on the edge of not keeping it clean. They want to go after each other a little bit.
They're saving that for when they come back on our show.
Correct. But they keep saying like no swearing, no busting balls. We're just gonna like be educational, and then they keep
guys. That is not a recipe for success. But also that's because they're their sponsorships and things.
Yeah, they
can't quite.
They've got like 17 sponsors.
They can't get away with the shit we can get away with.
No, they're not free. But
they can come on. But they can come on our show and get away with that shit.
Other than the Rab interview, I thought it was great.
Oh, God damn it! Really?
Oh, we're gonna get emails.
Really?
Well,
all right.
okay.
Let me quickly uninstall Facebook Messenger from my phone.
Here comes Rab's.
Because you decided to be a dickhead.
It's just funny. Come on.
Here's what I will say about the Rab interview. Because
did you get through that far?
I didn't get all the way through it, but I got most of the way through. And here's my gripe, right? Because I got a gripe because
why not?
These guys are essentially...
They need constructive criticism.
These guys are essentially my brothers from different mothers, and I have to fucking tease them because that's my job as, essentially being a bagpipe podcast.
Hey, they referenced us, so...
I didn't get that far.
Really? They said it right in the beginning.
But the one thing I will say that's interesting is the audio quality of the Rab interview was phenomenal.
Compared to the rest of the show. Right. Why was it so bad?
And everything else sounded like it was recorded on a cell phone in a Ziploc bag in a bathtub.
You're absolutely right. Like, why were they so far away from the microphone?
Like that. Like it blew my mind. Just the compression. I was like, oh my God. Like, oh, okay. Like this is DIY. Like this is pretty chill. And then they did the Rab interview. I'm like,
wait, this is okay.
Everything.
Well, probably because they recorded it direct off the computer.
Yeah, probably off the computer.
Yeah.
But no. I listened to it, dude. I like it. Here's the thing.
Well, hold on. Here's another thing.
They have 17 fucking sponsors.
I know, it's ridiculous that we don't have one. Well, no,
we have 66.
We do. That's true. Our patrons. Yeah. Well, 64 as of today. 2 canceled today, but
we have 60. Okay. We have 64 sponsors.
You cunts. But anyway, here's a couple things I thought about that. Big Rab interview. I appreciate that they were like very honest about like, hey Rab, we brought you on because, to be quite frank, you have a big audience and this will help get our name out. Yeah. And Rab was like, whatever, cool, okay.
That's like the established
like
show.
Everybody's first interview is Rab,
especially going for like a clean audience. But I realize now, like, because they mentioned in the beginning of the show that the last time they recorded was for the Big Grace Note Rab.
Correct. Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, man, we just split these guys up because there's no fucking way we can get them all.
No, we have to.
So we might just have to do one with Rab, one with Steven, one with Stu.
Yeah, that'd probably be good. I think Stuart's hilarious. He wanted to go nuts, and Steven wouldn't let him. I could tell because I don't know if you heard the part where reviewed.
The best part is, guys, if you come on our show,
they stole our bit.
If you come on our show, there's no masters.
You can do whatever you want. Yeah. You say whatever you want. But did you hear the part where they stole our bit?
Which bit?
They played a YouTube clip of somebody that's terrible, and then talked about
I have that in the notes.
Yeah.
But they didn't do it as a fail of the week.
No, they didn't. They were trying to keep it, but they were so close to like ripping on the guy. They were so close. I was like, come on, do it. Just give it to him.
So I want to talk about this.
Okay.
Because I realize that we live in an ecosystem. We live in a pipe band ecosystem and a creative internet ecosystem. And there's lions and giraffes and sheep and fucking llamas and snakes and everything. All these things live in this ecosystem. And I realized as I was listening to this, and I'm listening to the whole bit they did about the guy that's like the self-taught piper that played like fucking hammered dog ass.
Yep.
And didn't know the parts of the pipe. And
by the way, guess who the fail of the week is this week?
Is it that guy? But I'm listening to this whole bit that they're doing. It's like, well, at least he's fucking trying. And I'm just like,
no.
But I'm seething.
This is where Stuart is. He's like, this guy should not be doing funerals. And he's trying to be nice about it, but he's totally.
and they hamstring themselves at this point. Like at this point,
they're trying to be nice.
At this point, they're the police, and we're the Punisher. Like,
yeah, they can't have an opinion. They're just bringing it to our attention.
And I feel like this was intentional. I feel like they're intentionally
setting us up.
I feel like they wanted us to deliver justice,
Texas justice,
because they couldn't.
Yeah, their sponsors won't let them say anything.
Their sponsors won't let them say this guy's a fucking moron.
He was absolutely a moron. He was the Ryan of wherever this guy's
Not
from.
even worse.
Kearney.
Worse. I would say worse.
Oh, worse.
Yeah,
when
worse.
you could tell when he was talking. So here's my thing. A couple things about this. Stuart or
The only
Steven,
the only advice I can give to this fucking player after listening to the clip they
kill
played
yourself.
is make Pop-Tarts in the bathtub.
Yeah, like go
Like, just for fuck's sake.
they should send him to whatever the equivalent of like metal shop is in whatever school he's attending. Like he's one of those.
Yeah, this is literally the worst fucking shit in the history of time.
Yeah. So hold on.
I was like,
so
well, in the wind chamber we do. I'm like, where do you live?
And
Where
this
do
is
you
the
live?
reader. The what? So they kept hammering on this a little bit, but they were trying to be nice about it. But here's the thing: the guy's a fucking moron, and he doesn't.
This is part of the problem.
Like he should not be doing. Like he shouldn't be doing anything for free, for pay, for anything. He should not be in public.
No.
And Stuart started talking about this, like, you know, if you were a singer
only
and you
thing-
went and sang at a wedding,
Fuck that
and
shit.
you were this bad,
The only thing
people
he
would
should
call
be
you out.
doing is trying to figure out if his big toe can reach the trigger.
Oh my god.
Like, for fuck's sake. And these guys, I could tell they wanted.
Oh, they wanted to rip him, but they were.
But
also,
they left it to us. They teed it up.
Yeah, they definitely did. I give credit to these guys for like holding back because
They were phenomenal.
they were
man.
on the
Yeah,
edge. You could tell they wanted to go down the road.
They nailed it. But holy fucking shit, that was a fail of the year. That was
Fail of the year.
fail of humanity.
Yeah, that guy should not be playing pipes, especially in public. And this is the other thing. I'm not 100% sure about this, but I'm going to say I'm 98% sure. And Stuart or Steven said this, but the guy is from Kearney, according to the YouTube video, because I went and looked up the YouTube video because I wanted to see if this was true. Kearney, New Jersey, if this is where this kid's from, because he was definitely American, they were like giving him credit, like, well, maybe there's no teachers by you, there's no blah blah blah. Kearney, New Jersey is one of the most Scottish
so many
places in the country. This is where Mike Sorrow comes from, and George McKenna, who are members or played in our band over the years. They have one of the best bands in America, St. Columkill, in Kearney, New Jersey. If this kid is from Kearney, New Jersey, which is, they said Kearney, but they never said the state, but I'm assuming it's New Jersey. They have the band that won the All Irelands like last year or 2 years ago. I forget when it was. I think it was last year. They have instructors. This kid can connect with people. He went and learned it on his own because he's a moron.
And once again, we find out why New Jersey is the fucking worst.
Well, I mean, it's the armpit of America, for sure. But there's a very, very, very good band in Kearney, New Jersey. And this kid has options. So here's the finger of the week to this kid who... Dude, if you saw the state of his pipes, it's worse than your pipes. I mean, that's
hard to do.
That's hard to do.
That's hard to accomplish.
It was awful.
And I consider my pipes to be like the old truck that will only start for me. I'm Biff in Back to the Future. Like,
yes, you gotta
nobody can start this car but me.
Exactly. You got to just know how to touch the clutch. Just the right way.
Nobody can play these pipes but me.
That's so true, man. It was awful. So I do recommend their show, though. I think it was entertaining because I think the banner between Stuart and Steven is pretty good.
Well, I think that
Stuart, I think, is really funny.
Piping Jim, who wrote in the first email, he talked about how the best way to listen to our show is at 1.5 times speed.
Right.
The way I got through half of the Up to the Line podcast was I just listened to 2 times speed, and it was.
How did you understand them with the Scottish accents at 2 times speed?
You don't realize how slow foreigners talk
till they put them 2 times, and then they sound like us.
And they sound like a normal person.
That's good.
And I remember this when we were traveling, like when people had a hard time understanding us when we were in Northern Ireland and Scotland. I was like, "Oh, you'll fucking talk so fast."
I thought they talked fast at first, mostly because I couldn't understand what they were saying.
Yeah.
And then once I learned what they were saying, it's like, wow, they speak.
Well, it was like fuck diddly fuck banger. And fuck diddly fuck banger, make some tea. Like that was pretty much every sentence. Like it got old pretty quick. So I want to quickly talk about. I want to suck our own dicks for a moment. we only get to do this every quarter on this show.
I suck my dick all the time. I don't know about you. I had 2 ribs.
You got the rib. You got the rib removed finally.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That explains.
That's how I get laid so often.
That explains the heavy draw on the Chanarant HMO plan.
Exactly.
Now I know where all of our health insurance dollars have been going. But we had a practice. I want to talk about this because, did we talk about? No, we didn't talk about with Cahill because I wouldn't. Before Cahill was in town.
Well, he was here.
We recorded before the practice happened. Dude, we had a phenomenal practice, weekend practice, with like 9 pipes and how many drums?
6.
It was a band, baby.
6, yeah, sorry.
It was a
real band.
It was a fucking band.
How amazing did it feel to play in a real band again?
Dude,
for the first time in like 4 years?
I couldn't sit down for the entire time.
Because you had a giant boner?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I just tucked it up towards my stomach like a gentleman.
It was phenomenal. And it was like we were still missing 3 to 4 players at that point. So it was awesome. And it was awesome.
Yeah, man. I was very happy. That was a great practice.
I was super excited.
It was
of course,
brutal.
I didn't let anybody know that. I was just like a cunt to everybody.
You got to do the thing. Fusco, if I've taught you nothing, it's be mean to everyone all the time.
Absolutely. It started off a little rough, but then by the end, we were fucking
make everyone work for your affection.
Absolutely.
That's the secret.
It's the story of my love life. It doesn't work, but that's why I'm single at 4.
It's not the story of mine. I've become mush immediately, but
yeah, well,
only when people get their tits out.
We can't all be men.
With pipe band people, I just I hate them forever.
Right. Exactly. Somebody actually said that to me today about like, oh, I'm going to make friends with these people. I don't like talk about our band people. Like, I want to make friends with these if they like it or not. I'm like, good luck, because fucking pipe band people are fucking weird ass people, man. Good luck.
Yeah. It's a tough nut.
It is at the lower levels. At the higher levels, it starts to be a little more, I think, a little easier.
But yeah, I'm just I figure we should. Jesus Christ.
You like that one?
How much Taco Bell?
I had none tonight. None. No fast food today whatsoever. I'm back on the intermittent fasting. I got except
skipping breakfast and lunch. Doesn't count as intermittent fasting, by the way. That's not how that works.
It does. You eat from 12 to 8. That's it.
So what did you eat when you were in your fast, or when you were outside of your fast? What did you eat between 12 and 8?
I had Thai food for lunch. So I had coconut milk curry, basically real basic, chicken, carrots, and potatoes, and. That's about it, really.
That's why I could light the room on fire right now.
Correct. I was fucking goddamn. I was running around. Well, that's not the point of this story.
Hey, here's to us.
Here's to us.
Yeah,
and I don't know why, but
the plan fucking worked. We're gonna have a band.
Yeah, we're gonna have a very good band. So watch out, people. We're warning you now.
Number 4 is.
Hold on, before you move on.
One for you.
Should we credit our guest from the past weekend? Want to talk about him?
That's on you.
I mean, why not? Credit where credit's due.
Yeah.
So, this past weekend we had a full band out of towner practice. It just worked out where we had the guy working with our drum corps, Kyle Riak. I hope I said his name right, or Reich. I don't know. It looks like Reich to me, but I think you should pronounce it Riak, from the Phoenix area. He's working with our pipe band. Well, he's working with the drum corps. And we had him out this weekend, and then we had a big full band practice with all our out-of-towners. So that's why we had more players.
Had a couple pipers from out of town.
We had 2 tenors from out of town. We
had Cahill and Matt.
2 pipers from out of town. 2 pipers from out of town. Then Angel actually showed up for the first time, and fucking
Graham was there, feeling bad in the corner, playing his chanter.
Yeah. So we had a bunch of people show up, and Kyle he worked hard. He worked with them for like 6 hours on Saturday and 3 hours on Sunday.
And after 9 hours, they still won't look at your fucking feet.
No, but they're still learning music, so that's all right. Give them a fucking chance to memorize the goddamn music. They were still doing pretty goddamn good, except when they missed the break to the reel. But
hey, why did they miss the break to the reel?
Because they weren't looking at me. Fair enough. But it's getting better, man. Like, I'm so excited.
It's actually really good.
It's way better than it's ever been.
That's just been a thing that's been driving me nuts for like 2 months.
Let's say this. I will put this down on paper right now. I will autograph this statement to this effect. This Sunday, when we were playing in that circle, it is the best the Las Vegas Pipe Band has ever been in its existence of all of time. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would not argue with that for a moment.
Absolutely. So it's coming, man. It's coming. And we got great things coming for the medley.
I just enjoy getting to sit back and like
just fucking jam, man.
I jam and I'm like, well, when someone wants me to let loose on people, let me know.
Let me know. But we really didn't need to. I mean, other than Angel being ahead of the beat.
I mean, every time I still want to
99% of the time.
every time I still want to scream at the drums like, fucking look at the feet.
Dude, give him a chance. There's a process.
All I need you to do
it's
is
not magic, dude. It takes time.
All I need you to do is look up in the beginning of the tune.
No, they did. You're getting better at it. Like, they're making eye contact with me just like Jack told them to do a couple weeks ago. Or a couple months, whenever the fuck he last time he was
Shit's
here.
been driving me nuts.
It's like, look him in the eye. So I'm conscious. I look at the lead drummer and
like,
I look at the bass drummer and I'm like, okay, they got my eyes.
Here we go. The few times I comment on it, they're like, well, what the fuck do you know? You don't know drums. I'm like, motherfucker, I will learn how to do.
I will do what you're doing better than you in a year.
I will learn how to do what you do in a year and then tell you you're doing it wrong. Like, you want to fuck with me right now?
It's all good, man. Dude, is it any... Yeah, but here's the thing. It's way better than it's ever been. So
I got bored at practice and memorized the bass score for Meaning of the Waters. Like,
I saw you doing that.
You want to fuck with me, drums? You really want to fuck with me right now?
You memorized the bass score. Come on. Snare, that's a whole different thing.
Oh, how long do you think it would take you to teach me to do the snare stuff for both sets?
Realistically? You actually want a real answer?
Like a year?
3 months.
So there you go.
I'm totally kidding. It would be way longer than that. But
who's sweating at practice, motherfuckers? Who's sweating?
Oh, it's definitely the pipers because it's way harder to play pipes for sure. But dude, it's coming along. The plan is working. I think in the end, that's really what we're talking about here.
I was excited at the last weekly practice, not the weekend practice, but
even Tuesday.
The weekly was,
even though it was a small group that showed up,
it was jamming.
Dude, it was way better than Sunday.
It was better. Yeah, it was jamming hard.
Yeah. Like, granted, it was a smaller group. That's
and
fair.
I always like it when there's like, this score is boring. We're gonna fuck this shit up. I'm like, yes.
Yeah, and then they did, and it
yes.
was like,
if the score is boring, dude, get weird.
But to be fair, these guys,
we're the fucking Las Vegas Pipe Band, man. We serve no master.
Well, here's the thing.
I'm sorry, band that shall not be named. Boop.
Right. So here's the thing. So, so our drum score. All right. So how deep in the weeds do we want to go here?
On the drums, you have 120 seconds.
Okay. So in the reels, there's 2 reels at the end of this tune, at the end of the medley. The second reel, the drums completely drop out. 100% no drums for 2 bars. Then the snare comes in. Then 2 more snares come in.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the first part of the reel, the rest of the section comes in.
Solo, unison, and then mid.
Correct. But essentially it's like pipe heavy for a whole part. We've had people in the band that are advising us, that are helping us out, saying like, ooh, this is a bad idea. I'm like,
it's a risk.
I literally had a phone call with that guy today. I'm like, listen, we're fucking Vegas. We're Vegas in this thing.
It's a risk.
It's a risk, but we're going for it. I promise
broke.
you. And he was like, dude, if a whole part with no fucking drums to keep the pipes in line, I'm like, dude, we haven't had drums in 4 years.
Yeah. I forgot.
We're used to playing without drums. We can handle it.
I haven't seen a tenor drum since the fucking Obama administration. All right?
I would say since fucking George Bush.
Like,
the third or whatever.
Do you think I need a fucking drum to keep me in line,
no.
motherfucker?
We haven't had a fucking drums in literally like 3 to 4 years. We haven't had a bass drum in 3-4 years, right? So that bass drum dropping out is
you got to
not
keep in mind
a
drum doesn't know the fucking tunes.
No.
A drum knows the accompaniment to the tunes.
It's up to us. So I said, dude, don't worry about it. I'm gonna work our asses off so that
if I say third bar of fucking Duncan McGinnis, first part, drum doesn't know what the fucking that is, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I love drummers, and drummers make any performance better, in my opinion. It's always better with percussion because they're the only things that can deliver dynamics into a pipe band performance. You cannot have dynamics with pipes. You can have dynamics with drums. So
Correct.
You can raise, lower, accentuate. Like, that's what a drum corps delivers. But at the end of the fucking day, dude, play Duncan McInnes by yourself, snare drummer.
Well, the soloists would argue they should be allowed to do that, but whatever. Either way, it's going well.
What happens when every single snare drumming judge puts a gun in their mouth because they had to listen to it without pipes?
Well, that's true. So should we? I just want to say, in the end, thanks to Kyle for helping us out,
man. And he's
a rock star, man.
He is so fucking
he's lit a fire under the
so fucking good.
He's lit a fire under the like. Not only is he good at what he does, but he has inspired even everybody. The kids are like you weren't there, but I had a meeting with all the drummers. Like, hey, tell me what you liked about Kyle. Tell me what you didn't like. Like, what can we do better? Whatever. Like, they were all motivated when he left. Like, oh my God, this was great. The kids actually had legitimate response to him, and they don't pay attention. They're like teenagers.
There's intangible benefits, right? Like, I mean, it's a given that Kyle is a great drummer.
Oh, he's a hell of a drummer.
Like that's
more importantly, a hell of a teacher.
That's the thing I would say is that like the intangible benefit and the thing that you don't necessarily realize up front is like he is a phenomenal teacher and he's a person who makes people want to be better, and that's a harder skill.
That's way harder.
Like
and this could lead into a topic someday, and we may get into it tonight.
That's a way harder skill to acquire. Like it's harder to get people excited and be able to immediately adapt what you're trying to teach to several different learning styles. I mean, he had 6 people he'd never fucking met before.
Not 6. He had another 2 when he had the kids on Saturday. He had 8 or 10 or 9.
And he's so good at just like immediately making those adjustments of like, okay, here's how I get this person to fuck to save their own species. Here's how I get this person to fuck to save their own species.
It's interesting because I think he's still trying to figure it out. Just like the rest of us, he's like,
he's got
my impression. I don't know this for sure.
He's got a natural ability that's similar to like when we talk about Jack's ability with pipers.
Yeah, but Jack being able to hold on. There's 2 things.
Nuance that thing.
So I think Kyle, in my opinion, I mean I don't. What I've witnessed, I definitely think he's like me in the sense that he's like got a little bit of imposter syndrome. He's like, I don't know if I'm good enough to say this, but I'm saying it, and so he's not. I mean, he knows what he's saying is true, but I think on the inside he's like, he wants to prove himself. I have that for sure. Jack Lee does not have. Oh, I absolutely 100% do.
That's interesting.
Jack Lee does not have that at all. So what I find interesting about that is, I might be putting words in Kyle's mouth. Don't get me wrong, but like him and I talk a lot. Like, oh well, this is what worked. This is what didn't work. He wants to know feedback. He wants to know what people like. He's trying to make a name for himself, and the reason I brought him in is I used to work with him in Phoenix. Like when I went and played with Phoenix a few years ago, whatever, I 100% loved the way he ran his drum corps. I was like, he's exactly like me. There's no wasted time. He's 100% on. When they're off, they're off. He's like, all right, we're going to spend an hour on this, and then we're going to go fuck off and go do whatever we want.
And also HIV positive.
Well, I don't know about that. He's married. He's probably a reasonable human being.
Okay, so 90% like
but
you.
From like, as it pertains to running the corps, like what I loved about him is like when they would show up to a games, and this is not rocket science. Any grade 3 band worth their weight is doing this. But any grade 4 band is not. Like, he made everybody line up the drums. They're all laying in the sun.
I remember
They're all, like, wherever they're going to be, they're going to be.
I remember the first flag games where we had mixed course.
The discipline that he made them live by was exactly what I dreamed for us to have as a band. And so when I took over the drum corps a year ago, I did the same thing.
You will not let me hit people with socks full of batteries.
Well, that's a different thing. But people respect him. They do what he says because they respect his knowledge, and I appreciate that fact. You know what I mean? So it sounds like I'm really going way down the deep end of sucking his dick, but I really enjoyed the way he approached this circumstance, and think
it came across, and it was nice because he has some institutional knowledge.
Well, for sure.
With us even, where it's like, I mean, he said at the practice, like, man, I worked with this band, 2 or 3 years ago, and holy fucking shit.
It's a big difference, yeah.
I mean, it's not so much you sucking his dick as us still sucking our own dicks.
In the end, yeah. Right. So, yeah, and this is one
Episode
of those things
title,
like
baby.
We combined with Phoenix 5, 6, 7 years ago, whatever it was, and then there's a bunch of nonsense that happened and blah, blah, blah. But, like, in the end, are we better right now because of it? Yes. Do we suffer because of it? Yes. Like, the good, the bad.
So, the traditional toast, La Kyle.
La Kyle. So now we can move on. Thanks, Kyle. You're the best.
All right, we're going to take a quick moment. We're going to talk to some people in the chat, and we'll be right back with you here on the Channel Rant Podcast.
Pipe band life's not for everyone, and it doesn't always come at the right time. But with the Chanarant podcast at patreon.com/Chanarant, you can be there at the right time for you and your loved ones. It happens to a lot of guys. You're not ready to pipe band as hard as the Chanarant guys do. But with patreon.com/Chanarant, you too can be ready anytime, anywhere.
Welcome back.
So it's
Thank
official.
you. Thank you to everyone who stuck around during the chat
Yeah.
portion. We appreciate that. Fusco will cut in some commercial there, I'm sure.
Yeah, we don't want to put that out on the air for sure.
But Fusco, so we have a lot of ways we can go. Honestly, number 4 can be in a topic unto itself, but I feel like we should talk about the topic of the week.
Well, should we go into fail and all that nonsense, or what do you want to do?
Nah, I say fuck all that. Cut it. Save it.
This is the second time we cut this shit.
Cut it. Save it for next
good
time.
We're doing a whole winter storm thing.
We're an hour in, and we got to talk about
doing
winter
a whole
storm.
winter storm. This is the winter storm stuff.
Oh, these are all winter storm things?
2 of them are. 2 of the 3 are related to winter storm.
Okay, so which 2?
The win of the week and the try of the week are both. Oh no, sorry. The try of the week and the win of the week are. Fuck, I don't know. 2 of the 3. It doesn't matter. I'll let you decide.
All right, so I guess we're going to go right into the fail of the week.
The fail. All right, which one is the fail?
It's the top one, dum-dum.
No, I know that, but which one am I actually deciding is the fail? Okay. Okay, here's the fail of the
I
week.
feel like it's the same link, but...
It is the same link in the notes, but it's not actually the same link.
Okay.
So, here we go. This is what I would call the try of the week, because it's a fail, because the pipes are awful, but I don't hate it. This makes me laugh. So, when in the end, if it makes you laugh, is it really that bad?
That's what everyone says. That's what everyone says about our show.
So here we go. I'm going to play this. And pay attention to the trombone player. This is the first time on this show we've ever said pay attention to the trombone player. Gotta hear this.
My headphones. It's fucking...
Stick with it. Trust me on this. Stick with it. Trust me on this. It gets better. I mean, it's terrible, but it's also it's so funny. Look at this.
All right, I see where you're going.
I don't hate this.
Well, and the real MVP here is obvious.
This guy. Absolutely.
Obviously. This is a tricky between fail and try. You're right.
It's really right on the edge, man, right?
All right.
Oh, let the guy do his solo. Come on, give him his solo. love this kid. It's so awkward and uncomfortable. It's just hilarious to me.
All right, so realistically, let me, you've already seen this clip. This is the first time I saw it.
Yeah, I've seen it before.
My honest opinion,
Yeah.
the pipers were the worst part of that clip.
Absolutely. The drummers aren't bad. The trombonist isn't bad.
The pipers were shit. And the guy that was playing trombone was fucking carrying
the whole crew.
He was carrying all of them. Like dude, did you see how hard he had to choke up to get the pitch to like match the pipes?
He was working hard.
Like he was blowing his fucking.
And this is like he looks like he's 13.
He was blowing his lungs out because he's like, what the fuck? Why can't these pipers blow an even pitch?
What's funny about this, and you guys can see this when the episode airs, and I put the link out. Everybody in this group is a kid, probably a high school band or middle school band or something, except for the main piper. The main guy's like 75 years old.
Like the trombone player is literally like, how do I adjust myself to meet your... I mean, that was super uneven blowing on the piper part.
They're terrible. There's 2 pipers, 3 drummers,
and they're all... And 2 pipers is literally the worst number of pipers.
Yeah, because you can hear everything when it goes wrong.
Any kind of dissonance immediately becomes apparent.
So,
except for when it's you and me.
Well, we're fucking brilliant.
Playing a fucking high school gig up in Boulder.
Some wrestler school.
I'm, fuck, this is it. This is literally all we're doing.
This is
right
all
now.
we gotta do. I just gotta play this right now. Really?
I mean, that was pretty clutch.
Yeah, that was a good gig. So the thing that caught my attention about, I was like, this is terrible, but yet I love the trombone kid. Did you know I played trombone in 6th grade?
The trombone kid is the hero of this story.
He is the hero of the story. The
drummers were fine. The pipers were shit.
Correct.
The trombone kid
he kept it together.
He blew sharper to meet the pipes.
But he also, it's not like he's brilliant, but his like fucking presence is awesome. He
fucking adjusted the entire time.
Like, he owned the stage.
He was playing with an instrument that was like ring, 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 ring the entire time, and he fucking adjusted on the fly, dude.
I love this kid. No, I think this is a group of people in Germany. That is a
100% win of the week.
You think that's a win?
Win of the week is trombone kid.
All right, so I'm going to bet that you're going to go with the fail of the week is this next one then.
Okay.
And you're going to have to listen to it. If you cut it short, I'm going to insert their whole thing in because I think people should listen to this.
How long is it?
It's long, but it's worth listening to.
That's not the question.
It's long, but it's worth listening to.
Is it 2 minutes or is it 9?
It's 5, maybe 4 or 5.
Fuck me running. Okay.
Listen. I want you to close your. I just want you to listen on your headphones.
So you don't want me to look at this.
Listen, I'm going to edit around it anyway. It doesn't matter.
You don't want me to look at it. You only want me to listen?
You don't need to look at it. It's not worth looking at.
Also, you realize I don't have sight. There's a reason I wear sunglasses.
This is Winter Storm. This is the Winter Storm concert.
I see the nth metal, like the Batman Who Laughs.
This is not Fred Morrison.
So what am I looking for anything?
No, I just want you to close your eyes
and
just enjoy this process.
I will verify.
And if you cut it short, I'm gonna put it in anyway, so it doesn't matter.
I'll verify eyes are closed.
Here we go.
Because no one wants to see my googly eyes.
This is fucking absolutely 100% phenomenal. If you're a piping fan, Josh is not, so he's gonna cut it short. Watch this.
It's already better than the fucking P-Brock last year.
Jack motherfucking Lee right there.
There's got to be like 20 minutes of this, right?
They cut it short, but wait, stay with it because I want to hear your reaction to this. They go from like early versions to the Carl Lewis version pretty quick. Crumleth variation. Stick with it. I would tickle so hard right now. They go back to the ground there at that point. So,
dude,
so they play ground, first variation, Crunlith variation, then harmonies into the Crunlith variation. Dude, how fucking insane is that?
Well, it was way better. It was way better than when they turned the lights off in the P-Rock.
Well, they did a better job with. So last year when we were there, they did a different P-Rock, but they tried to do something similar, and it did not go as well, not nearly as well. So here we have Roddy.
They turned the fucking lights off, and no one could see the hands.
Maybe that was it. I don't know. But we had, right now, we had Roddy McLeod, Margaret Dunn, Willie McCallum, Stuart Little, Callum Beaumont. I can't tell who that guy is. Alasdair Dunn, and Jack Lee. 8 arguably greatest pipers living today playing this P-Rock. It was called McMurtry Salute. I don't remember the name, but it was fucking, in the room, it was fucking phenomenal.
Like, good acoustics in that room too. I mean,
well, the room is phenomenal for sure. If you're in the room at the time, it's phenomenal. But like,
which is hilarious. They do all the contests in the shit air wall ballrooms.
They do that. That's true.
And then they hold the concert in the beautiful auditorium,
the most amazing auditorium ever. Yeah.
Where did we talk about on the show last time how we were like slamming Guinness in the fucking
dude? We were in the corner, right, and we're slamming Guinness, whiskey. We had flasks, and like there's no liquor allowed in the church.
No,
they're very clear about this.
And Doogie came upon us, and was like, "What the fuck are you guys doing?"
Well, no, he's like, "Dude, do not get caught." Because like this is important to me, not you. You don't give a fuck. What do you care? But he's like, do not fucking get caught.
I was like, what are you dealing with, amateurs?
This year, I didn't have that problem. Well, it's just me and him up in the booth.
That's actually a brilliant segue because we're talking about Winter Storm 2020 with the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Andy Fooko.
So I wanted to introduce that. Yeah. So Winter Storm was awesome. Absolutely awesome, as it always is. Well, I mean, I assume it always is. I don't know. So what kind of story should we get into? What do you want to know?
Well, we're an hour 20 minutes into recording, so...
so much for the short episode.
It's your edit.
So what do you want to know about Winter Storm? Quick. It was great. All right, we're out of here. Good luck. Good luck, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, Gracie.
So, Sco, you went to Winter Storm this time for business.
I did. last year was pleasure. This year was business.
So I'm interested to know the difference.
I worked more. Literally, dude, from I got there Wednesday.
So walk
afternoon.
us through the timeline.
Okay. So I got there Wednesday afternoon, and I was there till Sunday about noon or so. And last year, when you and I went as just a pleasure, like mostly just for the experience.
For the sesh.
We got there. Did we go Thursday or was it Friday?
Yeah, we were there
like late Thursday.
We got there on Friday.
Oh, we did. Okay.
Yeah.
So Friday to Sunday.
But we were going for the sesh.
No, we were there for the sesh. So the difference was like got there on Wednesday. Carl and I we were the only ones there. We had to set up live stream. I had to do a bunch of like setting up cameras and making sure learning how the system worked.
All the stuff I usually do for you.
Usually you do it for me. And now I actually had to learn something. So
isn't that exhausting?
No, it wasn't so bad. Whatever, it's just fucking cameras and making sure it's on. Point it that way.
Don't fuck the cameras.
Dude, I fuck everything. You know me.
I know you do, but don't fuck the cameras.
I'm fucking the camera right now with my eyes.
So you show up and you're
Wednesday.
streaming, and actually it was an interesting. Here's how I could tell which one you were monitoring, because you would zoom in on the judge or the person who was announcing, and it was like a office like whip zoom.
Correct. So I was learning how to use their system.
It was the office whip zoom, not like a preset.
It was totally intentional. So the cameras they use are super cool, and I really want to get one for the bands for our future.
So about the Mevo?
The Mevo is super cool, man. The way it works. But I don't have an iPhone, and it doesn't work.
There's already a better one.
Is there a better?
Yeah.
You let me know. But what was cool about it was, so the camera's facing this. It's got like that crazy fisheye zoom.
It's like a 160-degree radius.
It's crazy wide. But you can like use the app to zoom in on what you want.
To crop.
So it doesn't actually have to like move. It just focuses in. So like all that crazy shit you saw was me. Like, cause I'm like bored. I'm sitting there for 12 hours.
When I was
watching
this
this goddamn thing.
Like I was at work on Friday. I'm watching it, and I saw you like whip pan, and
oh my God.
I'm like, that's Fusco.
Fusco's working the camera right now.
Because
when it was really boring, it was everybody else other than me.
I guarantee that's Fusco.
Like Andrew and Carl were like, no, don't do anything, just leave it. I'm like, when they would walk away, I'm like fucking like doing like goddamn shit.
It's not like you don't have any experience. We used to shoot.
Yeah, but
shorts.
They don't know that.
We shot shorts all the time.
We did it all the time. They don't know that. They're like, keep it simple. They're keeping it basic.
You know basic camera movements.
I do, but nobody trusts me because they think I'm an idiot. I am an idiot, but they don't trust me.
I mean, as long as you confirm that you hit record.
Yeah. Exactly. It's double. I made that mistake. Let me tell you. I could tell you a story about Winter Storm when mistaken to hit record.
The only thing I ever worry about is like, did you hit record? Okay. Was it in focus?
I fucked that up. So anyway, for example, here's a great example. Richard, who's the guy from California? Richard. The guy with the mutton chops. God, I can't believe I'm drawing a blank right now. Anyway. I was talking to him at Winter Storm. He's like, I'm playing the pro solos. He's playing in the professional solos.
Yeah.
He's like, dude, just zero in on my mutton chops. Forget everything else. I'm going to play shit, but whatever. So
yes,
what did I
do it?
I absolutely did. But I was like,
this is why I will never get hired at the Piper.
I'm like looking over my shoulder. I'm like, Carl's not looking. I'm going to zoom in on fucking his mutton chops as close as I could get.
You need the graphics like flashing chop cam.
Chop cam. But dude, like, if Andrew ever hears this, he's probably gonna be upset. But like, what is Richard's last name? Why can't I think of Richard's
McGrath?
Last name? No, Richard is McGrath is the guy that. I'm not gonna say.
Don't finish that sentence. Do not.
Mutton chop. Richard Rudd mutton chop.
Holy shit! I literally just heard your thoughts. Do not finish that sentence.
You heard where I was gonna go. So anyway,
Jesus Christ.
So anyway, I zoomed in on his chops, and I was like, dude, you might not have got through the finals, but at least you guys zoomed in on your chops.
That's alarming.
It was awesome, dude. So anyway, it was a good time, man.
So I want to give,
but it was a way more work than I ever expected. So Carl and I were working like 12-hour days every day almost every day.
That must have been hard to be like any other human being that works
12-hour days. You're working 8 hours if you're lucky. Dude,
yeah, I work 8 hours when I'm lucky. I work 10
This
when
is-
I'm not lucky, and then I work 2 more for the fucking Highland Games.
this is
the
how I
band,
knew.
and God
This is
knows
how
what
I
else.
knew it was like, all right, we're going crazy. So Carl's like, he had to leave on Friday night. He had to go back to wherever he was coming from Friday night. So it was me and Andrew for Saturday and Sunday.
Where
right?
does Carl go when he disappears?
France, I think. I don't know. So Andrew and I were in charge of Saturday, right? So like Carl told me everything I had to do. He's like, all right, so you got to set up the camera way up high for the winter steam, the party afterwards, right? So I'm like, I got a ladder, I got fucking cords. I'm like climbing a ladder with cords and shit, right? And Andrew's like, he doesn't know what the fuck's going on. He's like, why are we doing this? I'm like, I don't know. Carl told me to do this, so I got to do this. I don't know. So I'm climbing ladders. I got a camera up on this fucking ledge, right? And he's like, it's so funny. He's like, why? He's like, when do we get to enjoy ourselves? I'm like, dude, we got hired
Now.
to fucking stream this
Yeah.
shit. Like, I got to set it up. Once I set it up, we're done. Right? This is the last thing I got to do. So, like, literally, I'm like climbing onto the ceiling trying to set this thing up, right? Oh.
Who put you on a ladder, man? You have a very low center of gravity.
Well, I'm sober. I'm fine, but I was pretty sober at this point. But the funny thing the thing that made me laugh is like Andrew's like he was so done. He was like, when do we get to enjoy ourselves? I'm like, I don't know, man. Like I'm just doing what I'm told.
See,
if you
this
don't want me
is
to do it, I
why-
won't do it.
This is here's a point I'd like to make
What's that?
because this is Doogie, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So Doogie's talking about how when do we get to enjoy ourselves? When do we get to have fun?
Right.
Because we're working so much.
Oh, we worked our asses off, dude. It was crazy.
Everybody needs to adopt the Chanarant mindset,
Which is what?
which is, yeah, we're working our ass off and we're having fun. Always. This sucks. I love it.
Well, yeah, that's true. That definitely happened. Don't get me wrong. Carl and I had a great time.
Like, we're
Carl
always,
and I worked our asses off, and we had a great time.
Yeah, we're always working, but we're always having fun. That's mandatory. Fun is mandatory, guys. If you're not having fun, then don't fucking do it.
Right. Well, we had fun. Carl and I had a great time. And it was actually pretty cool because I'm about to spend a week on a cruise with Carl in the same room. And it was like, oh my God, okay, I can get along with this guy. Him and I get along pretty well.
Carl's
It's cool.
the nicest fucking human being.
Yeah, but I'm not.
And
But I was like, okay, I can
He's
I
the
can make this
nicest
work.
person in the history of time. And you may think you're not the nicest person in the history of time, but I guarantee I am not the nicest person.
Well,
in the history
you're
of
like slightly less nice than me. Carl and I are to gamble at the casino in the middle of fucking
Dude,
the Bahamas.
You guys are gonna have so much
So
fun.
it's gonna be great. But
Okay, let's give a quick pause just in case.
hold
we
on,
have to
I got
cut anything
one
out
more
there.
thing. I got
For fuck's sake, Fusco, it's gonna be a 2-hour episode.
Hold on, we got one more thing we got to do. Where did it go? Hold on.
I mean, it's your edit, so
Isn't why did it disappear? How did I lose the fucking edit, man? It's weird. All right, so are we actually? Do we have a topic? Okay, so here, I want you to hear this. This is important to me. This is what I would consider the try of the week, maybe the win of the week.
you were all over the place.
I honestly don't know. I'm so drunk. I don't know.
We're almost 2 hours in, and you, oh, for fuck's sake, turn it down,
I'm gonna turn it down.
bro. You brought one flask. How the fuck were you hammered?
I don't know. All right, this is important. This is important. You ready for this? We can end it here. We don't have to actually get into a topic. So, this is what I would call I think just, for me, this is win of the week. You decide.
Okay.
This is Steve Foley's son, who wrote a tune. Doesn't have a name.
Who the fuck is Steve Foley?
Steve Foley, the bass drummer from the LA Scots. You know who fucking Steve Foley is. The guy that tells the jokes. Are you kidding me right now? The Gan joke you got from Steve motherfucking Foley. Gan, fuck yourself. All right, you're fucking with me. All right, cool enough. So this is Steve Foley's son who wrote a tune. It doesn't have a name yet. I think you should call it Chanarant 3.0. We haven't decided. I think this is a cool ass tune. Steve Foley played this for Stuart Little and some other guy in the hospitality suite at Winter Storm. You ready for this?
We're off the rails. Let's go for it. If we're going to be bears.
We're going to be good for it. What do you think?
I wish someone tuned his drones. Yeah, that one would have been good. A little bit of drone tuning.
Fair enough. Hey, he's like a 13-year-old kid.
Still a pretty awesome tune.
What do you think of the melody though?
Oh, cool. Yeah. Just weird enough to be cool.
So Steve was playing this in a room, the hospitality suite, and it was Stuart Little.
Hospitality.
I'm very drunk.
Hospitality
suite.
Wait, try that again.
Me.
Hospitality. There you go. Nailed it.
Stuart Little, and there was a bunch of people in the room. A few people, very significant.
Bunch of fucking
people.
nobodies.
No, significant people. And
how significant?
I remember, I was
what's their net worth?
I thought, in my opinion, this was a cool tune. Like da 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 bum ba da. That was a cool riff. Da 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 dum ba da 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 bum ba da. That was a cool riff. Like the rest of it, whatever. But
interesting question.
So Stuart's he's.
Can I postulate a question?
Yeah, absolutely.
Of the incredibly important people in the room, do any of them make more than a TSA agent here in Las Vegas?
I would be willing to bet Stuart does. I would be willing to bet most of them do. I know you like to shit on fucking professional pipers, but these guys probably make a pretty good living traveling the world in Japan or wherever the fuck they go.
Stuart Little live at Budokan.
I don't know where they go, but I bet you he makes pretty good money.
Okay, I know this hasn't happened, but when I was a kid,
I gotta pee.
Okay, that's fine. I'll just describe this to the audience, I guess. But sit the fuck down. Listen to this. You're gonna like this.
I'm listening.
You don't have to pee. You don't have to pee this hard. When I was a kid, my favorite DVD ever in the history of time was Ozzy Osbourne live at Budokan.
I remember that one.
That was the most amazing performance I'd ever seen.
Rush live at Budokan. Where's Budokan? I don't even know what that is.
It's in Japan.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Can we get Inverary live at Budokan?
That would be phenomenal.
Because that would blow my fucking mind.
Live at Budokan. I think we can. Because why not?
Inverary live at Budokan. Zakk Wylde on guitar. Robert Trujillo on bass. Nico McBrain from Iron Maiden on drums. Boom. All of a sudden, the Inverary medley, it just reaches new levels. Yeah. I think that's what we should be supporting. And you can support Inverary Live at Budokan by going to www.google.com/Inverary Live at Budokan and waiting for someone else to do the work for you, just like Fusco always waits for me to do the work for him. Anyway, we're getting to the end of this episode, I think, unless Fusco can unload his bladder and also deliver some quality clips. Fusco, you got quality clips? You got clips? Answer. Say yes or no. What? Do you have clips? Of what? Of Winter Storm. Yes. Interviews? Yes. Why the fuck did you wait this long?
About this.
Why did you wait this long?
I told you I had clips.
This is a 14-hour fucking episode, dumbass.
All right, so insert here interview with Alasdair Dunn and Derek Cooper.
How many interviews do you have?
You want to do a re-intro?
How many interviews do you have?
I have 2. I have a bunch, but these are the only 2 that are worth anything. Because who cares?
Are they cute?
They are. Well, not the second, but they will be for the audio audience.
Well, how can I comment if I can't hear it?
You're not going to comment. All
right.
We're going to do a fake insert.
Okay, so read me in so I can stop this.
You're going to do like, all right, Fusco was at Winter Storm and he has an interview with Alasdair Dunn. Here we go.
Fusco was at Inner Storm and here's...
At where?
Fusco's at... Victor's Storm, and here's an interview with Aleister Crowley. Go.
Come on, give me a real one.
Fusco's at Winter Storm, and here's an interview with Alasdair Dunn. Is that the right name?
That was it.
So we're here at Winter Storm. We have Callum Beaumont and Alasdair Dunn here tonight. Alasdair, how you feeling tonight?
Sorry?
How are you feeling tonight?
A little bit cold.
Cold?
Yeah.
Would you like me to grab your balls for you? I mean, would that help?
Probably not, because I really need to pee
Well, I was thinking the same thing, but he grabbed me. So,
in the balls.
oh yeah, absolutely. Look at this guy.
Callum Beaumont grabbed you in the balls.
Oh yeah. Oh, he did 2 months ago. He was in Vegas with me 2 months ago and he grabbed my balls. I'm not going to go #MeToo movement with this.
Okay.
Are you familiar with that? But I do feel a little bit upset about it. But, you know, what are you going to do? So, can I ask you a couple questions about your decisions in life?
Yes.
What is the best decisions you ever made in life other than leaving Field Marshal? Go ahead.
Going for a pee right now.
No. You got to give us like 3 minutes, and then you can go for a pee. How big is your penis?
8 inches.
Margaret did not tell me that. She would contradict that statement. She said like 6.
Okay. I was cold that night.
Oh, fuck. Oh, we got whiskey delivered here. Hold on. Do you drink whiskey?
I do, but not tonight. No. I have an Irish workshop tomorrow.
So hold on. What you're telling me is you suddenly grown a vagina. Is that what you're telling me?
Not that I'm aware of, but the jeans are tight, so maybe...
The 8 inches have disappeared quick. Yeah.
So if I go in, is there any chance as hell that I could interview Margaret at some point? Is she really proper? Is she got a good sense of humor?
Yeah, she's like 10th in line to the British throne. So, like Meghan and Harry are out. We're in. So,
Oh my God! So you're telling me you're the future Prince of Sussex or some shit?
yes.
Okay, brilliant. So, you were a judge this weekend, yes?
I was, yeah.
Why do they keep bringing you out? If you retired from Field Marshal, what's the attraction to bringing you here from this point forward?
Because I'm incredibly handsome.
I won't disagree with that. He is a very sexy man. He's got this perfect, like, faux hawk going on.
Yeah.
Blonde faux hawk.
And I was at the gym as well, so
How the hell I ended up with this? I think
I've been working out.
it's yours.
Hold this.
Margaret had it, right?
Hold on. So I'm gonna feel
I'm not holding
Alasdair's breasts right now. He's got. Do you do push-ups?
Yes, I can do 50 press-ups. 50. That's my limit.
I just want to say right now, I am touching Alasdair Dunn's nipples.
And it feels nice. What are you doing later?
What's that? Well, I'm already contractually obligated to this guy.
He's nice nipples, yeah.
Yeah, no, he's got a beautiful penis.
Really?
That's what I heard. I haven't seen it yet. I hope to.
You could be. This could be your night.
Let's find out. Callum, how big is your penis?
9 inches.
Not your blowpipe. Your penis.
4 inches.
Oh well, you do come from Scotland. They are a little. They grow a little small.
There, yeah. It shrinks fast.
So, all right, I got to ask you two guys something. You're both very successful in your fields. You're very successful at retiring early, which is an amazing thing.
Well, I try my best in everything I do, so.
Obviously. So, how old are you?
40 this year.
Are you really?
Yeah.
You don't look a day over 39.
I don't think so.
Why did you retire from field marshal?
Because I had enough of all this shite.
It is a pain in the ass, right? Being in a pipe band. So, is it just you just want to run your business and go on with your life? Is that what it is?
Well, I thought, I was at the point where I was going to ruin FM, so I thought I better leave. So I thought it'd be better to try and ruin the business.
Oh my God, that is a great point. So, why do you think? How old are you, Callum?
31.
At what point is he going to ruin his life? Do you think?
32.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're working on it.
Do you want to say hi to your wife for me?
Hi, wife.
Or your future wife, I mean. Sorry.
Yeah, hi, future wife.
Yeah, what's her name, by the way?
Marita.
Margarita.
Margarita.
He's traveled to Mexico. I don't know if you know this, but he married some stripper in Mexico or something. I don't know.
Marita, yeah. I know her well.
Oh, we've all been there.
That's why it's itchy.
By the way, I really got to pee.
Oh, no. Hey, it was great to meet you and talk to you. Thank you for the great words of encouragement, I guess. I don't know.
You're doing a great job.
Do you think Richard Parks would talk to us tonight?
Yeah, you will, yeah. Of course I will.
Let's go.
I'm almost drunk enough to say stupid shit to Richard Parks. I don't know.
Absolutely, just do it.
The next one is the gold medal winner, Derek Cooper.
Okay. Holy shit. Wasn't that amazing interview with Alasdair Who Gives a Fuck? And the next one is with gold medal winner. Gold
what?
Golder dinner. Okay. Quick pause. Keep all this. Edit nothing out.
No, hell yeah.
So that was a great interview with Mr. Crowley. And Mr. Crowley. And next up we have gold medal. Gold what? Gold. We have gold medal winner. Fuckface Dunn.
Derek Cooper.
Oh, Derek Cooper.
Jesus, you're terrible at this. I gotta write this shit down for you.
Well, you could have in the show notes.
That would have been nice.
Here's a big Chanarant shout out to the gold medal. Speech impediment, I swear to God.
You can't say medal.
Medal. Wait, I need some medal for me to do medal.
Metal.
Hold on. We got this.
We are hammered. I don't know about you, but I'm hammered.
I know. God damn it, boy. We were going to have an easy show. Here's a shout out to the gold medal winners. Alasdair Cooper and Fuckface
Derek
Lee.
Cooper.
Derek Cooper and Alasdair Lee. Good job being metal. Metal.
This kind of be good.
How you doing, mate?
Yeah.
How you doing, mate?
Fooko. Is this for us?
Listen, I just want to talk to the most accomplished snare drummers that I know.
All right, I'm gonna head out.
You just won the gold medal, motherfucker.
Yeah, but you're talking about Gordon Brown.
Gordon Brown is actually amazing.
Sorry, and I will add, he won the gold medal in an absolute polished performance.
Did you do you agree? He was the hands down winner.
Yeah.
I agree, but I love this motherfucker. Mostly because he's an Eagles fan, but I don't give a fuck.
That is true. We do
share that love. Love for the Eagles. But Derek, how many times have you won a gold medal?
5.
At Kansas City.
Yeah.
That's amazing, dude.
Yeah.
That's impressive. So,
I'm coming back as a competitor next year.
are you gonna come back? I don't think you're allowed, dude.
No, I'm too old for
You're too fucking
No,
good.
come on, it'll be fun. I'll tell you what. I'll learn pipes. I'll play for you.
We'll maybe join the grade 3.
Aye.
I mean, to be fair though, Keegan was amazing.
I'll tell you what. I've been very, very lucky to have 2 solid pipers between Eric Roulette and Keegan Sheehan, and the both of them. It makes my job easier.
Does it?
It does, because you know what? I show up. I never worry about them.
Right.
They are as important as me playing, and that's the way I look at this. That's the way I look at the contest, and they're both animals, and they're phenomenal players, man.
Well, they're definitely animals.
Wow.
But, like, as a drummer, how important is it to have a very solid piper to play with you?
It's as important as everything I'm doing, because when you have a great piper, you don't think, right?
You
don't think about, oh, I need to hold here, I need to cut here. A great piper will be like, what are you doing there? Right? And that's it, right? Like, I played the qualifier yesterday, and it was a bit clippy. Keegan and I spoke, and we ironed it out, and then the final was just...
Well, this is something that's I find interesting. Is I watched all of this.
You know, it's really important because we're an accompanying instrument, and it's important we help to create the music, and having a good relationship with a piper, that's what it's all about. You need to create music, because that's what it's all about. It's nothing other than music, and that's what this guy had done excellent yesterday.
Well, he's laughing. I don't know what he's laughing about over here.
He's laughing at Jim Sim behind you.
Somebody going up. What's going on?
There's a lot of inappropriate gestures being made here.
But, so, where was I going to this? What did you say right before he interjected?
We're talking about like creating music.
Oh,
because
right.
We are an accompanying instrument.
Right.
And pipes have got a certain volume that they play in, so the only thing we can do is create music by altering accents and stuff like that, and this guy did this yesterday. It was an absolute flawless performance.
So let me ask you this though. Last year you came in second to Eric O'Neill, right?
No.
Third.
I was 5th.
Were you fucking 5th?
Yeah.
Fuck's sake, man. Fucking 5th. That's bullshit.
I've been at the bottom of the last few years. I'm not gonna lie.
Dude, you crushed it this year. I was listening. I streamed that shit. That was awesome. So, do you want to talk shit about anybody? You want to fucking no?
But see, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you're 4th, 5th. You take out the chin and you go back. And
you know what the last 2 years did?
What?
Made me hungrier.
Yeah.
Did it really?
Yeah. It was no holds barred. I came into this contest this year, no holds barred. I've played really well at the solos the last 2 years. I've played really well here. It didn't matter. I look at it, every contest as a new contest. The past doesn't matter. Because anybody can play a blinder. And anybody, and that final yesterday was phenomenal.
It was fucking amazing.
Honestly, that
Fucking amazing.
final, the standard in that final yesterday was unbelievable.
I would argue that final yesterday could have been better than the previous year's final.
Oh, I would agree.
And the quality of play is what drives me, right? I know all those guys. I love them to death. Good relationship with all of them. And we just want to have music. It's good music. That's what makes a good snare drummer. It's good music. And
but by the way, sorry to interrupt. That's the key word. It's all about the music. And it should always be about the music.
That's my philosophy. That's the way I was raised. I've had 2 great instructors that have instilled that in me. It's all about the music.
I have a very difficult question, though, for both of you. How would you...
I can't determine your sexuality.
No. You can drink... No, that's not what it is. That's close.
That's a pretty difficult question, buddy. I can't help you.
How do you define what's really musical, though? Like, you guys you're from Inverary, you're from Bog Hall
It's
Baptist.
the same school of thought.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether you're from Bog Hall, FM, Strathclyde, Glasgow Police, Bog Hall. When you listen to someone playing, it's a feeling you get. The problem is you can't actually describe it. You can't put that down on a sheet.
Isn't that what makes it difficult, though?
No, because music is a thing that inspires you, right?
Right, absolutely.
And it's the thing that sparks the interest in you. So if you're listening, it doesn't matter if you're talking about a grade 4 snare drummer or a professional snare drummer. The person that, when you're listening to them play, and this is the perspective as a snare drummer, when you hear them play and you're thinking, that's quite good, it's hitting all the marks, okay, well then they're adding, the bagpipe is a great instrument, but it's monotone. There's no volume, right? So when you can provide drama and dynamic to the instrument, that's what creates music, because that's what music is, right?
Yeah, drama.
That's
absolutely.
our job. And this is one of the best guys to ever do that
Oh,
when it
absolutely.
comes to create music that way. So,
honestly, yesterday there was no, 3 firsts. And he had his day yesterday when the performance was flawless.
I was there. He was phenomenal.
I concur with it. It's all about the music, and it's people talking about journeys and music and stuff like that.
I'm curious though. Give us some insight to you as a judge judging him. What stood out to you as his musicality?
Oh, it was flawless. And
how so?
Well, we talk about we're a staccato instrument, so the thing is, we help to create ensemble, help to create music by light and shade.
Sure.
Accent
What is
weights.
Yeah, but people don't understand what that means. What does light and shade mean?
Light and shade is just basically going through the performance, knowing the pipe tune, knowing when you should be playing light, when you should be playing louder, when you should be really hanging out an accent, when you should be quiet. And it's all about weights. And that's basically what it's all about. It's probably more to do with knowing the pipe tune. I mean,
Right.
I imagine Derek could probably whistle or hum the tunes that he played yesterday, because if you don't know the tune,
from start to finish.
yeah,
That's a really important point.
If
Absolutely.
you don't know the tune, if you can't whistle the tune, I'm not talking about all the intricacies with all the grey strokes and stuff like that. But if you can't whistle the tune or hum the tune, well, you're struggling. You need to know the tune inside out.
Sure.
I mean, anybody that's wanting to do solos, the first thing they should learn is the melody of the tune.
Right.
If you don't,
I make my students sing their tunes.
yeah.
And I personally struggle. It doesn't matter the score. I personally struggle to get the score right until I know it, because it's like a blueprint, right? And that's like the foundation. Once you know the melody, that's what gives you the creative license or the creative authority, I should say, as a snare drummer, to because we all have a different take on what it could be, but you have to know what the melody is first before we can decide which way we want to go.
Right. Yeah. That makes sense. So, what goes into deciding your final score for like the finals tonight. Like, obviously you prepared, right, for this thing.
Well, a lot of things. Like, okay, so a few of the scores, like I played a Duthert score. I pretty much played it as Alec has played it. Like, I'm not going to mess with that.
Sure. Is that because, like, was there a strategy in that? Was it like, all right, the judges are going to like this? Or was it just
I could understand your thought as a paper.
I mean, I don't know.
This,
I don't
but
know.
there was really no thought
Really?
because that's what it is, and I'm just going to play it.
Okay.
Classic scores.
You don't have to overthink them.
You know, scores like Donald Cameron and Pretty Marion, those scores were written way back, in the early 70s.
Easy.
And they're probably, to this day, they're not dated.
No.
They're not dated, and it's like, they're probably some of the most musical scores you will ever find.
And you could probably add another, Clan McRae, Bogan Logan.
Yeah.
There's probably another 5 or 6 scores. Maggie Cameron's another one that you can add to that list, and it's.
And that is unbelievable. I don't know what age Derek is, but I know what age I am, and I learned.
He's like 30-ish.
My dad taught me Donald Cameron, but I wasn't even a teenager.
Right.
And I learned early that is absolute pure music, and that was a score that was done in 1970. That is.
More importantly, when did your father teach you English? Because we're having a real hard time understanding.
Oh, you're going back to Flagstaff. Gordon needs an interpreter.
Gordon needs an interpreter. I understand your pride.
Fly me out. I'll do it.
No, but honestly, it's like there's certain scores, and it doesn't matter whether it's Alec Duthert, Jingle Patrick, Reed Maxwell, Tom Brown, Gordon Brown, Eric Ward. There's certain scores that we've all done that stand the test of time, and you could play them at any solo competition. And that's going back to like Derek's performance yesterday. It was like, all right, he played an Alec Duthert score for the 1970s, but he made it work, and he made it musical.
How do you make that decision though? Like you
Look,
were like ready to go in the gold medal. Like, how do you decide what score you're going to play?
there's a lot of that.
Is there a strategy?
Alec Duthert said it best a long time ago. There's 2 things you can play: a tap or a buzz.
That's true. You told me that many times.
That's the God's honest truth, because that's all we can do. You can play a tap or a buzz, and everything comes from a tap or a buzz.
Right.
Now, when it comes to scores, some of it's strategic, and some of it is, you know what? I would probably say Gordy could say the same here. If I don't like the tune,
call me Gordy.
Gordy, he told.
listen,
Gordy.
listen, your son is cool. It's fine. I could go down with that. Hey, no. If I don't enjoy the tune myself, I'm never going to make that tune sound good.
Yeah, you're right enough. It's like, but when I used to play solos, I would start off with a list of about 5 or 6 marches, and you would go through these, and you knew when you played with a piper, you were like that. Oh, that was good. Or it was like, I'll give that one a miss. There's a feeling within yourself, and you can't explain what it is. There's certain tunes that fit to you, fit to the piper, whatever. And it's just you need, like, what you whittle it down to get your 2 marches, your 2 suspense, 2 reels. And like I say, like we're talking about Alec Duthert and classic material, and it's stood the over the decades. It's still classic material.
Well, would you like to say anything about like how everybody else sucks and you're amazing?
No. No, because I don't think that anybody sucks. You know what?
No, I'm just fucking with you.
I spend a lot of time listening to all the guys that I play against, and I admire everything that they do, because they're all like the final yesterday. They're all phenomenal musicians.
The final yesterday was unbelievable.
I thought it was a great standard.
Oh,
It was
amazing.
amazing.
And from the first guy that played, it was all the way through it.
And you could say the same for the final at the World Solos. The last few years, the envelope continues to get pushed, and I'm quite honored to be, selected amongst those guys that continue to get to be a part of that group that keeps to push it. And I look back and I listen to all those performances, or I watch them on YouTube or whatever, and I everybody has that thing that they do great, unless you're Steven, who just
does everything great.
Steven's a machine.
Let me ask you this. I want you to tell me about Gordon. And you're gonna. This is coming up for you next. So, tell me what you admire most about Gordon right now. And you're gonna. This is coming next. I mean,
I've got 3 things that I've always admired about Gordon and the Bog Hall Corps. Okay.
What's that?
Number 1 is the musicality.
Fucking
From the moment that this man took over that corps, the musicality has been in every score, and you can hear it. You don't have to know the tune, but you could pretty much pick up the tune just by hearing the corps play.
Absolutely. That's okay. It's what
number 2 is and the word ensemble. That's what matters to this man, because it's all about
ensemble, right?
All right, and the row quality has always been like phenomenal. Like, you listen, one of my favorite recordings of all time. Now, this could be controversial, but one of my favorite is the '94 Bog Hall medley. Dr. Gaelic ends on the Masons. Right, that was a great medley.
That's a way back in the day.
Aye, but you know what? That medley could be played today, front to back, the way that was played then, and it would stand up. And as I've grown older, I've spent more time listening back to older recordings and just looking back at a lot of composers and stuff. And it's sometimes it could be simple, sometimes it's super, like it's so clever, but it catches you like that, and you can't forget it.
Right. Yeah.
And that's what I admire about this man right here. Like, I'll listen. I admire everybody. Like, there's a lot. I could sit down and take something from everybody when it comes to the big guys, and I consider this man right here one of the legends.
He absolutely
of the game.
100% is. Absolutely.
And I do. And I'm lucky enough to be able to stand here in a room where people are getting pitched and just have a conversation with them. Like, that's surreal to me.
And he picked you for the best. Absolutely. I mean, I assume. Did you pick him for the best?
I had straight first, so I would say so.
Listen,
They've kind of changed the format. It was like pick 3 winners.
Right.
But the easiest way for us to do that as adjudicators of 3 is to actually rank everybody.
Right.
So it was like, so when we started doing like, okay, the easiest way is to say, well, who'd you have first? Who'd you have second? Who'd you have third? Who'd you have fourth? Blah, blah, blah. And there was no doubt about who was first yesterday.
That's cool. That's amazing. That's really good. So tell me what you admire about his playing.
Derek's playing yesterday was probably the first thing to say, it was flawless. But more importantly, it was all about the music. It's a really strange format, because these guys have got to play a traditional march or spear and reel, then they've got to suddenly break into a hornpipe and jig. Personally, I would probably go for more of a play your march or spear and reel, give these guys a couple of seconds, an intro, back into hornpipe and jig. Because for the difficult point of view, it's tune choice. So you could. Where did you play this? Where you played?
I played Tom McAllister, Bogan Locken, John McKechnie.
Right, good. John McKechnie, right. So John McKechnie's a traditional reel. It's one of these reels you don't play too fast.
No.
So your problem is when you break onto a hornpipe after it, it's like hornpipes are traditionally played like pretty sprightly.
Right.
So from Derek's point of view, and the rest of the guys yesterday, it's maybe one of these things that you maybe have to look at. A wee stop. It's only going to be another like 5-10 seconds, whatever. Let these guys have a wee roll and back into the hornpipes, because it's different tempos that's involved.
Sure.
But honestly, this guy was unbelievable yesterday. It was musical. It was. Yeah.
How hard is your cock right now? I just want to know. Gordon, he just said you're the most musical.
Well, see, at the end of the day, sorry, Jack. See, at the end of the day, it's about the music. It doesn't matter whether you're a piper drummer, tenor drummer, whatever. It's about the music, because that's what it's all about. It's ensemble. It's creating music. It's creating music and creating feelings about the music.
I would say that I'm honored. I truly am honored to have the guys give me the nod yesterday, and and the common theme was just what Gordon said there, that extremely musical. But I think that's the greatest compliment any snare drummer could truly get, is that you were musical. Yeah. You're taking two very difficult instruments to make work together, and the great ones make it look easy, right? Sure. And it's all about how well you play together and what you create out of that. And that's what I've always admired out of the great ones. And I'm truly grateful and honored that these guys felt that way, because it's so hard to overthink every little thing. Yeah. And sometimes the best thing you can do is just leave it.
Yeah, just play it, go on and enjoy it. Look, these guys are at a level, like technique-wise, there's no issues with any of these guys that were in the final, or even the qualifying yesterday. The technique's there. It wouldn't matter what you put down in front of these guys, they will play it. But the difference is working out the weights and how you present stuff. And that's what's music. It's again, keep on coming back to this. It's all about the music. Yeah.
So here's another thing that interests me, is that how would I call him? Stephen is your, what is he? Okay. Your mentor, I guess. And he was a judge. So how much do you have to kick ass? Because most judges are like, listen, I'm your teacher, whatever. You've got to so clearly win. You got to so clearly win.
Can I answer this?
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to know.
If I was judging any of my guys, and it's wrong, but I would probably be more critical.
That's what I mean. Well, he's got to be way more critical, right?
It's like, you know how if it was one of Stephen's scores, Stephen knows how that score should be played.
Right.
And it's probably more difficult for Derek, because it's you're leading drummer, your mentor, whatever you want to call it.
I would assume it was more difficult.
I'm going to be quite honest, because I wouldn't like to play in front of my dad. Because my dad.
Absolutely.
I would probably say my dad would be brutal.
Oh, absolutely.
But that's.
What do you think about that?
So, Steven's a lot of things to me, but most importantly, he's my best friend. So, but I know the expectation, and I know what Steven would want out of a competitor, so that pushes me harder. But I also know, as Gordon has said there, he's going to judge me twice as hard as the other players, because he knows me so well, right? Mm-hmm. So, but at the same time, you can get in your own head if you worry about that stuff, right? So I speak to Steven quite a lot, but Steven's result has nothing to do with him knowing me. Like, he would tell you if you're shite, and he would tell you if you're great.
Go ahead. Go. I'll finish up with him, and you're good to go.
I'll catch you. 606.
Yeah, we're going up.
606.
Right. So, but that's the thing that's important, is to know is that your instructor, the guy that's most influential in your life, has got to judge you hard.
Well, I would say it's very important to note that while Stephen is very influential and has been very influential, and I admire the things that he's done. At the same time, I wouldn't be here for Reed Maxwell, because that is officially the man that started me. I mean, I had a previous tutor. My uncle started me from scratch, but the man that took me from nothing to something was Reed Maxwell, and it's the guy that I continue to look at on how he changes the game.
Sure.
and I respect that. And there are people that overlook Reed at times. And then
Do they really?
Yeah, they do. They overlook him because they think, oh, his stuff's too simple or this and that. And I would argue that his stuff is so clever that it fits too well sometimes. And, one of the comments Reed has made about music in general and his philosophy about drumming, which obviously is instilled in me as less is more. And that means a lot to me because you don't have to overplay.
Sure.
And that's the man that has gotten me to here. And I've had a lot of influences, you could say, over the years, and obviously Stephen would be one of them.
Stephen used to play under Reed, right?
I played in a corps 2008. I played in SFU with Stephen McWhirter, and then obviously he left the corps and started the Invery project and has taken his own corps to great
success. Yeah.
Obviously, great success. And I had finished my tenure with SFU in 2013, and all years that I enjoyed and have a special meaning to me, and I could tell you so much about every year. And obviously I took a year out, and Stephen had asked me, he was struggling. He was struggling for players one year, and he just, Stephen and I are really, really good friends before anything else. And that's the reason why I had joined Invery District, is to play, obviously with my best friend, and I haven't left since.
What year was that?
2015. So in February of 2015, I got a phone call from Stephen to say, look, I'm struggling for some players at the moment. Could you play some majors? Friend to friend, and that's the reason why I joined Invery District. The bonus for me, the cherry on top, is the prize at the end of the day. It's the music that we get to create that means the most, and that carries over. I've spent some time, talking and teaching you as well, and the fundamentals are important, but it's how you apply the fundamentals that creates things. And it's lovely to hear, and it's so humbling to hear the kind words like Gordon has alluded to this evening, and I've heard from all of the judges. It's a pretty surreal thing to hear that.
I can imagine. Yeah.
I mean, I've literally been speechless the last 24 hours. I must admit, on just realizing, 2008 was the first time I ever played in the gold medal, and my goal was just to make the top 6, and I was lucky enough to win the gold medal that year, and completely blown away. And I've been fortunate to capture the gold medal 5 times now, and every one has been different. I've gone about it differently. I have gone, I've prepared differently, and I would say that this one has meant the most.
Really?
And the things that have, I've thought about in the last 24 hours to think about what has got me here is not the successes. It's been the failures or the things that have pushed me harder, and that's one of the big things I can pass on to any player.
Sure.
Is it's not the successes that get you to the next level. It's the failures. It's the I need to work harder here. I need to work harder, and you put the time in. And like I said, I've been blown away by the comments about my performance yesterday, and I personally enjoyed yesterday's performance, and I'm usually hypercritical about myself, and I come off saying, "Oh, that's shit. That was not good."
Sure.
And then you get a prize, and they're like, "Oh, okay." But I walked off yesterday, and I thought, first of all, I played an okay qualifier. I wasn't thrilled about it, but it was I knew it was good enough to get through. And I would say that we were all in the same boat there. You know, a lot of the top guys, you know, were so friendly. We were just chatting in the hallway, and we were like, you know, it was good enough to get through.
Sure.
And you know, it came to the final, and they redrew the final, and I was lucky enough to go on last, and it was the feedback from the judges, but it was also the feedback from my fellow competitors that were, you know, the show of support for me as well was. I'm not usually one that's lost for words, but
that's true.
You know what I mean? Like, I have been quite. I don't think it has sunk in yet. Like this one hasn't sunk in yet, and that's the biggest thing.
You said that on Facebook yesterday.
Yeah,
right? It's
and,
like you're still processing it. Yeah. Well, why this one? Why is this one different? Do you think?
I know why this one's different. Like, the first attempt at the gold medal won it.
Yeah.
Won a couple years, back and forth, blah, blah, blah. I picked up a couple, the last few years here, personally, have not been great results for me. A few that I thought I played really well, and it just didn't work out in the end of it. And then, you know, the World Solos is the same thing. I've played really well, and I don't always get the result. And I've listened back, and I you know, I could put it all together, and I kind of went about this one a little bit differently. I've been really busy with a lot of things, and you know, I practiced, and you know, I put the time in, and you know, I listened back to the video of the qualifier, and Keegan and I both, you know, discussed a few things, and this, you know, there was parts in the march, and you know, I'm usually one that's a guy that would you know, get to the final. It's like, it's time to hit it and push, you know, it's throttle down time, you know, a little tempo is going to get you there. And yesterday was opposite of that. And we just went the opposite direction, and that's not something I would normally do. And him and I talked, and we practiced a few things, and we just, you know, I kind of sat on it. You know, it felt like I could sit on every note, and I just had control of everything that was happening yesterday. And it's a surreal experience. That's the best way I could describe it. Like, when the pressure's on, you know, you can feel every little thing you're doing. And yesterday, I just felt like I could go anywhere with every note. Right. And it was just one of those deals. And I hope that's not the best performance I ever have in my life. I hope I have more to come.
I'm sure.
It is one that this is without a doubt, hands down, the most proud and humbled. I am blown away by the support, the show of support, and the comments that I've received over the last 24 hours. But I would say that this one is, I've worked very hard in the last, you know, 2-3 years to get this, to get back here. And, you know, I think, now don't hold me to this, I think there's only one other person that has won 5 gold medals, and that would be Blair Brown.
At Kansas City.
At Kansas City, yes. So I've been coming here for quite a long time through the amateur grades and now the gold medal. And, you know, that's a guy I've looked up for a long time. And to be tied with that guy is pretty remarkable.
That's impressive. And you're so young. You got plenty of time to break that record.
I don't feel as young as I used to, but
it's all right.
They tell me I'm still young, so it's all right.
There's plenty of time.
But,
you're under 30, right?
No, I'm
just on the edge.
I turned 30 last year, so the back's already hurting.
Oh, you're fuck me.
Yeah. You know, I struggle to get up in the morning. The hangovers are worse.
Oh my god, let me tell you.
I could tell you the hangover this morning was not pretty. I can promise you that.
Oh yes, been there. But congratulations, that's amazing.
Thank you,
it's really phenomenal. I really, as a person who learns under you, I really respect what you do, and it's fantastic.
Thank you. And I would say that has become the most important to me. Is It's not just the result. It's everybody else. You know, that I've had people that aren't snare drummers come up and say, I really enjoyed that. Like, that has meant the most to me.
Sure.
And has been a little bit surreal that, like, people that, you know, they find you in the hallway, they find you in the ballroom, or they at the bar, and they just say, hey, saw you play yesterday. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you're a piper, you're a snare drummer, or just you're not involved, you just listen.
Yeah.
And when you can entertain that way, that's huge. That's a huge thing, and I'm pretty proud of that. So,
well, congratulations. That's amazing.
Thank you.
And to the next thing. You're going to win the next thing, whatever it is.
You know,
someday the World Solo Finals.
You know, I've been fortunate enough to make the final the last few years, and you know, right now the goal is, the next goal is, getting in the top 6. If it happens, it happens. It doesn't. It doesn't. You know, the quality of play is phenomenal, and the quality of player in the world solos right now is outrageous.
Right,
you know,
sure.
and the guys are all good, and I love to play, and
just fucking do it.
And yeah,
it's all about just going out and
it's
playing.
just
right?
It's just like band. You leave the bullshit to the side. I love to show up, and I just love to play, and that's why I continue to do the Inverary thing, and I have the Ulster Scottish project,
Sure.
going back home, and we're continuing to work hard there, but I just like to play drums, man.
That's what it's all about, man. It's fucking jamming with your friends, right?
Yeah. I've loved it since I was 6 years old when I started, and sitting here almost 31, and I can tell you without, there is nothing that I would rather do with my life than play a snare drum and be in a pipe band. I've been kind of born into this, so that
it's a whole family thing.
Yeah,
and all that, yeah.
Fourth generation into a pipe band. You had there was no hope for me. Like, I was going in.
You're fucked.
But no, it's good. It's really good, and it's it's just something I love to do. So.
Oh, that's brilliant, man. Well, congratulations. This is awesome.
Thanks,
and
buddy.
I think we're gonna go drink some more. I imagine.
I would hope so, because
happen.
we're the
It's
last ones in
night.
here.
They're closing the doors on us. We're fucked.
Final thoughts. Give it.
What's the topic?